God, we give you praise. We give you all the glory. Only you can do this amazing thing. How y'all doing? Thanks for coming to 30 Minutes of Praise. Welcome Facebook, welcome Instagram, and YouTube. How y'all doing? How you doing, Carter Emmanuel? Thank you for coming to 30 Minutes of Praise. Angel Cherry, thank you for coming to 30 Minutes of Praise on Instagram. Your grace and your mercy day upon me. Mercy day upon me. Anywhere you enter, things they happen. Enter, things they happen. Odowakataka, my defender. My defender, away. Only you be God, oh. Only you. Only you be God, oh. I no get another God, oh. Your bado, bade, 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 bade. I see what you're doing on Instagram. I never have the chance to join while you're live because of time difference. I am that I am, oh. There is something about your name, oh. I am that I am, oh. Yo, I gonna tell my one, oh. Now you be, I am that I am, oh. I am that I am, eh. There is something about your name, oh. Something about your name. Now you be, I am that I am, oh. I am that I am, eh. I'm gonna check my one, oh. I'm gonna check my one. At the mention of your name, demons tremble at your feet, oh, yo. I am, oh. Jesus said the mention of your name, anywhere they gather, then they stop you, oh, I am, because of your grace, because of your love. I see some people just joined on Facebook. Thank you for coming to 30 Minutes of Praise. Every level we don't change. Now they call me for WhatsApp, yeah. They ask me what's up, yeah. I tell them don't be by power, yeah. Now I always so, yeah. Only you be God, oh. I no get another. Only you be God, oh. I no get another God, oh. God, oh. There is something about your name, oh. am that I am. Something about your name. That is growing in my spirit, and I'm gonna kind of see what direction God is leading me in regards to it, and then follow up with it. So, I guess towards the end, just remind me to talk about it, because I know I get carried away with praise. Remind me to talk about it. Instagram, Facebook. I know there's something that, again, you know, God is putting heavy in my spirit for this family, 30 Minutes of Praise family. Amazing God. Amazing God. You always come through for me. Amazing God. Amazing God, my lover, my defender, my amazing God. You always come true for me, my amazing God. You always come true for me. Always come through for me, amazing God. Oh, you always come through, you always come through for me. Oh, amazing God, amazing God. Oh, always come through for me, my amazing God. Amazing God. Yes, sir. We're alive today. We're standing here. That is his way of coming through. One of the many ways he's come through for us. Possible. It's possible to you. God of impossibility. You ask for a sacrifice. Provided the sacrifice. Those words I'm talking about. Amen, amen. Amazing God. Amazing God. Oh. You always come through for me. Amazing God. Amazing God. Amazing God. Amazing God. You always come through for me. Amazing God. This lady is one of my favorite gospel artists. I don't know if I said it before. Oh. And thank God for her, you know. She, on her recent nuptials, thank God. I wonder what she was going through when she sang the song. My defender. Like when I listen to songs written by artists, I always wonder about what birthed that song. That's what music is to me. I don't just, dance to music. I listen and I ponder in my head, what pain birthed this song? What situation birthed this song? Amazing God, oh, amazing God, oh. You always even when the odds were against me, oh, you always show up. Even when the odds were against me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Even when the odds were against me, oh, you always showed up. You always show up, my man. Oh, my God. Amazing God. Amazing God, oh, always come true for me. My amazing God. Amazing God, oh, amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God. Yep. Only an artist will understand. Only, and that's the thing. I don't listen to songs the way. So I don't listen to songs. I don't listen to songs, especially gospel songs, the way the typical person or the average person will listen to it. And the reason is because I hear songs differently. Again, gospel song, because I don't just sing it, I don't just dance to it. I feel it, which I think basically is what the artist was going for, having you as an audience feel the emotion they were trying to portray through that music. And I try the best that I can to see the message, feel the message, hear the message that the artist is trying to basically pass on. So, and I started playing different things in my head, because what people don't understand is, as human beings, we all have secret struggles. Every human being has a secret struggle that they deal with. Depending on your position in life, it's either very public because your lifestyle has made it so, or again, you choose to go public because that's the only way you know how to, seek help. For some people, they just die, die in silence, because again, that's how they know how to process things. And it makes me wonder. So there was a video that was played at work, and it kind of got me thinking. When you see people, when you look at somebody, what is the first thing that you see? What is the first thing that you see? What's the first thing that you see when you look at somebody? Sometimes they're smiling. Sometimes they're not very nice. Sometimes they snarky. Sometimes they arrogant. Sometimes it's just a wide range of emotions, right? And when we see people, that's what we see. That's how we judge people, and that's how we treat them. So based on the emotion they display, that's how we You know, that's how we respond to them, because human beings, we're almost very robotic. You know that automatically. If I come and you're walking towards me and I smile. I don't have to know you from Adam. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna smile back, because the mind is programmed to do certain things a certain way. If I'm walking towards you and I put my hands out like this, automatically, you don't have to know me. You will stretch your hand, because it's something that the brain does. Very predictable, which is good, because it was designed that way, so that way we can, you know, react to people based on their feelings, right? Based on how they treat us. So it doesn't matter if you're calm as a cucumber, the nicest person in the world. If somebody walks into your space and they start screaming at you and they start yelling at you, saying all kind of profanity towards you, there's a trigger that is going to go off in your head. And that trigger would be like, who do you think you are? You know, the rest is history. You automatically give back what you get in energy, right? So people have the tendency. So when you see, back to what I was asking again, when you see people, what do you see? And sometimes, and I feel like this is a continuation of yesterday, people show you the side of them they want you to see. And by that, everything is okay. We're good. We're good. Right? Or stay the heck away from me. I don't want to deal with nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. And guess what? Automatically, you get the message and you keep it moving. Right? So, but sometimes behind that, stay the heck away from me, there's something going on that you're not seeing, that you don't know, that they're not communicating. Matter of fact, they intentionally chose not to communicate that with you. Because again, that's how they're dealing with their situation. Example, you're at a grocery store. I always like to use that as an example, because I frequent the grocery store. In case you haven't, noticed by now. You're at a grocery store. The person behind you, for no reason, cuts in front of you. Don't say nothing. Don't say sorry. And then while you try to what just happened? They start cursing you out for no reason. You're like, the nerve of this person. What do you think? What's going on with you? Usually when people act like that around me, I don't take it personal. Because it's not a normal reaction. I've not done anything for you to treat me like that. So immediately in my head, I know, nope, this is not about me. No. And then I let them do what they want to do, go through their emotions, do what they want to do, and they leave. I will not say a word, I will not respond, I will not react. Because immediately that tells me something. They say for every action, there's a reaction. Either they want a reaction from me because they're so angry that they need to direct their anger towards somebody. And I refuse to be that person, period. I legit, genuinely refuse to be that person. I refuse to be your trash bag where you dump all your ill emotions on. Nope, we're not going to do that. If you want to talk to me and share your problems or your situation, I will listen. I will give advice where I can. And when I can't, where I can help, I will tell you, okay, you might need to seek professional help because this is beyond my, as I say, my pay grade. But, legitly, okay, when you can help somebody and you're like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I think you might benefit from talking to somebody, or you might benefit from some counseling, or you might benefit from, groups, things like that. So like I said, I refuse to be anybody's dumping ground. So sometimes when we see people, it would be amazing if we can look beyond. Or somebody sees you at the store and all they do is and they just smiling sheepishly. That also worries me. It tells me two things. They're either really nervous or they're in big trouble. Or something is desperately going wrong and they don't know how to fix it. And it's interesting how the brain reacts. You know, the fight or flight, the parasympathetic nervous, the systems, you know, it will act, it will react. It would either, everything is okay. I'm getting burnt right now by the fire and it's okay. Or, oh my God, that hurts. I would rather, oh my God, that hurts, because that's a healthy response. When people go, oh, it hurts and it's really painful, but you're smiling. Run. Those are the ones that kill people at night. And stop them in their sleep. But in all honesty, in all seriousness, sometimes we need to look beyond the mask. As human beings, we have learned to put on a mask of operation, because that's how we function. And this is basically piggybacking from yesterday, right? When we're talking about how we learned at a very early age not to show emotions, especially if you're from I would say Africa. I know Asians, I know the Caribbeans, and I'm saying this because of people I've dealt with from there, and they almost relate to the same thing, where they teach you that, yeah, you're hurting, okay, you're not the, and they'll be like, well, you're not the first person that it has happened with. That's a very, very popular phrase where, where I'm originally from, it's, they go, well, you're not the first person it happened to, and you will not be the last. Okay. Well, that's good to know that I'm not the first person. Do you by any chance have a solution on how those other people solved their problems? No. So unless you do, that's very unproductive, right? But back to basically what I was saying. We're taught to shelve our emotions. We're taught not to react. We are taught as a matter of subconsciously, we are taught to not even share when you're going through any kind of difficulty. We're taught to do that subconsciously. It's not like nobody says, I mean, most cases they say don't, but subconsciously you're taught not to do certain things, and you kind of train yourself. But I am hearing of way too many, way too much suicide cases, way too much. Before, growing up, it was a Western thing, whereby only people in the Western world committed suicide. I know back home, back then, they said, oh, well, people that commit suicide, they throw them in the evil forest or something like that. I mean, if you've heard that, confirm. And there'll be no funeral for you, no this, no that, because it's a taboo, And plus, as Christians, that the Christianity states that when you commit suicide, you go into hell. And because of that, guess what? A lot of people, for the fear of going to hell, like, I'm not trying to take my own life, then go to hell on top of it. No, I just deal with my problems. So that kind of keeps some people away from doing certain things. But in Africa, I am hearing of way more suicides, and it's ridiculous. And it tells me that the mental health is finally catching up to us, because you can imagine my great-grandmother's generation, my grandmother's generation, my mother's generation. right? And then they raised our generation, and then we're raising another generation. And we have all these unhealthy parenting techniques that we picked up that's been passed from generation to generation to generation. And we end up raising depressed children, you know, sometimes very numb human beings that have been taught you don't respond to. Somebody hurts you, it's okay, you don't respond. You don't respond to this. When somebody verbally abuses you, it's okay. It's part of upbringing. When spouses verbally, physically abuse their spouses, it's okay. You're in your marriage. That's what marriage is about. You endure. But I remember the Bible says, love your husband, or husband love your wife just as Christ has loved the church. So I don't hear where any kind of abuse came into the picture, but somehow we make it okay. I see bosses, and this one is very rampant in Africa, where bosses will treat their employees like maids, where pastors will treat their members very poorly, and the culture supports it because that's a form of respect. At a point, it's just like there's a thin line between respecting somebody and being abused by them. And then you're not supposed to say something, because when you say something, guess what? You just disrespected them. How dare you? Right? Again, the culture teaches you not to question. You can't question. How dare you question your mom? And also the culture teaches, basically almost makes it okay for adults to do wrong and not in any way, shape, or form not be accountable. Will not apologize for their mistakes. And guess what? We teach our children that it's okay, and guess what? Our children end up doing the same to their children, and then their children does it. So it's just something that just keeps getting passed on. I know I probably said this before. I remember growing up, my mom never said, I love you. No. I just woke up one day and I said, I love you, Mom, because that's how it genuinely felt in my heart. And I said it so fast. I remember the first time I said it to her, I said it so fast and I hung up. Because I didn't know how she was going to react, right? And eventually it became our thing. We never got off the phone without saying how much we loved each other. It don't matter if I spoke to her 100 times a day. I love you was the end of that conversation. The one time I didn't say it because I was in a hurry to get off the phone. The one time. I never got to speak to her again. And every time I think about that, it eats away part of me. That's why no matter how busy I get, when somebody calls me, I try to answer. Except I genuinely cannot answer the phone. But I'll try to text you, like, hope all is well. I can't talk to you right now, but I definitely will try to get back, reach out to you. Because you just never know when the last time you'll get to speak to somebody. You never know. And it goes back again to how culture teaches us not to share, how we grow up not sharing things, right? All I knew was that my mom had stomach ache, and that was it. I don't know if there was, anything diagnosis that was worse than that, or if she found out any. No, basically, it all seemed like everybody was in the dark. Nobody knew what was wrong. And I'm saying this based on my own findings. So which told me, guess what? She internalized as well. And again, I'm an internalizer. I internalize a lot of things. So And I have a feeling she wanted to tell me a lot of things, and I missed out on that. I guess maybe she wanted, you know how they say people feel it when something is going to go bad? And it was just, and every day, another day that goes by that I don't wish I could take that back. And it's interesting, I don't regret things. I mean, I don't have things that I've regretted in my life. There are probably things I've said, okay, I'll do this differently next time. But not many regrets. That's the one thing that I regret in my life, that I didn't get to say goodbye. And it eats away inside of me. Hi, Paulette, happy birthday, love. Happy birthday. And congrats on your daughter. And that's one thing that every time I remember, eats away part of me, that I never got to say goodbye. And I hung up so quick because I was so busy cooking and making stew. I was worried it was gonna get burnt, but silly me, I could have turned it down. I could have turned down the stove and say, hey, Mom, you say you want to talk? But I was so busy. I couldn't make time to say hi to my mom. And that was the last time I ever spoke to her. So the last words I said to my mother before she passed away was, I'll call you back. I'm really busy right now. This stew is gonna burn. And I told her, I know it's nighttime. I know it's nighttime and you're tired, and I know you need to go sleep. So I'll call you back. And she said, it's okay. I have time. I can talk. But I said, Mommy, it's okay. I'll call you back. Just I'll call you back. And the next time I called, fast forward the next day, I was in Uptown Manhattan, Nordstrom, trying to buy her a pair of shoes. And I said, wait a minute. I know she's been complaining about, stomach ache and all this, and not knowing what's wrong. I said, if I buy her this pair of shoes, it's going to cost me money just to ship it. How about I just send her the money? So that's how I didn't buy the shoes. What was interesting, for the first time, my phone was dead all day. And my phone was dead all day. I didn't have a charger with me. I managed to get home. I plugged in my phone, and I hear all this voicemail. It was email, there was Facebook message, there was voice note. It was basically everything. And I knew. What's interesting, I didn't talk to anybody, but I knew my mother was gone. And at that point, I don't even think I've ever shared this with anybody. But I don't even know why I'm sharing this with you guys. I called my older sister, and I just heard the screaming, the tears in the background. And all I remember saying was, can I speak to my mom? I want to talk to Mom. Somebody gave her the phone. And I just remember repeating that over and over again. Eventually, I called a couple of church members while this whole thing was still going on. They came, and in the middle of it, next thing I knew I was sedated. And when I woke up, I continued from where I stopped. I needed to talk to my mom. And I called her number over and over and over again. And at that moment, I wished so desperately that I had stopped. I had taken a moment to just stop what I was doing and listen to her. There's no day that goes by that doesn't haunt me. Some days are easier than others. Some days are definitely harder than others. You know, everybody has a story, but ours is a very interesting story. I feel like life sometimes goes a certain way, but as humans, sometimes we feel like we don't get it right, or we're not doing things, and eventually you feel like you got it right. Eventually things are working out. Eventually you're in a good place. And I felt like eventually I was in a great place with my mom, more like an amazing place. And what's interesting is I spoke to her every day, more than 6, 7, 8 times a day. And the one day, that was the most important day of them all, I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't spend 5 seconds to say hi, to talk to her. You see, when people react and when people do things, there's always either a trigger or something from the past that makes them act the way they do. Something I do at home. No matter how angry I am with my husband, no matter how much we had disagreed over something in the past, there's no day we leave. Whoever that is leaving home, we have to say bye, we have to kiss each other goodbye, and we have to bless each other's day. That didn't happen because, oh, I just had this epiphany. That happened as a result of me not being able to say goodbye to my mom. And I'll be damned if it happens a second time. Hi, Nene. And so no matter how mad I am at my husband, even if I'm frowning and I'm giving him a kiss, or frowning and I'm saying goodbye, I make sure I say goodbye, but I also make sure I have a smile on my face. Because you don't want the last thing that person remembers about you being how you guys left and were so angry at each other or said some mean things to each other. So we see people today and we take them for granted. And we really don't know when next we'll see them. Tomorrow is not promised. The next second is not promised. We're only here by grace, right? And when people say we're living on borrowed times, we are really living on borrowed time. So every opportunity you have to make somebody smile, please take it. Every opportunity you have to bring joy to somebody, please take it. Because we are so good at saying, oh, they were such an amazing people, or he was an amazing person. And we write this beautiful eulogy. And we didn't even see eye to eye when the person was alive. I hear about all these wonderful things about my mom. It would have been nice to kind of see it displayed as opposed to just hearing about it. And of course, there were times it didn't feel like that. That's the truth. Again, I don't know why I'm sharing this. I believe there's a reason. Because again, when something is placed in my heart, I know there's a reason. I know there's a reason, and there's a strong reason. So, what is the takeaway from this? At the end of the day, life will always be here. At the end of the day, as long as we're above the earth, there will always be something coming up. We will always be on the go. But let's not forget to stop and smell the roses. Hi, Auntie Tina. Guys, welcome Dr. Tina Pakesi. Thank you, my it is well and just amen. So let's not forget to take a moment and smell the roses. And some days, as a mother, my kids want to climb over me, they want to hug, they want to be kissed, they want this. I was like, oh God, mentally, I want to do, stay away from me, don't hug me, I am not in the mood. But I just go, come here. I just give them a hug. And we're like, okay, time up, let's go. But I've learned not to be dismissive about people's emotions. Because again, you don't know. You just never know. You just never know the last time you will be seeing that person. We take things for granted. We take it for granted because, you know, we always believe that people will be here, things will be here, situations will be here. It's like, you know, you start to take that bus for granted. You start to take that job for granted and you say, oh, that crappy job. As soon as you get fired, you start weeping because you're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills and this and that and that? But the meantime, the whole time you were complaining. The whole time you said that boss was stupid, they didn't know, you know? And that's life. We just, sometimes we take people for granted, we take things for granted because we think it will always be bad. So guys, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but also you can tell it's something that, again, I'm an internalizer. I internalize. I'm used to being strong for everybody. I'm used to, you know, putting on the cape. I'm like, how can we save the day? But even the superhero needs a superhero sometimes. And I think maybe that's why it has to come out one way or the other. Either I punch my way through it at the gym, or I just talk about it, or I write about it. But I definitely know that this is going to help somebody. And here I am being vulnerable and just sharing this with you guys. I hope this speaks to somebody, and I hope this helps somebody. I love you guys. God bless. And don't stop praising.